All right, let me ask you something. You ever have that light bulb moment, that amazing idea for an app, but then, boom, you hit a wall? How do you even build it for both an iPhone and an Android phone? Well, today we're going to talk about something called React Native. It's a technology that basically says, hey, forget doing the work twice. It promises you can write your code once and get an app for both platforms. So let's dig in and see how it actually pulls this off.
So, you've decided you're gonna build a mobile app. Awesome! But where do you start? I mean, it's a huge question, right? And traditionally, it meant you had to make this massive choice right from the get-go.
Yeah, you pretty much had to pick a side. It was like, are you on Team iOS, coding in Swift with Xcode, or are you on Team Android, using Kotlin or Java and Android Studio? And the result? Well, it's right there. You'd end up with two totally separate apps, two different code bases, which really just means one thing: double the work. We're talking double the time, double the money, double the headaches. Just not ideal.
But what if there's a better way? I mean, what if you didn't have to choose? What if you could take just one single, much more efficient path? Well, that is exactly the promise of this Write Once solution.
And here it is. Meet React Native. Now, the key thing to understand is right on the screen. This is a framework for building truly native apps. I'm talking the real deal, for both iOS and Android. And the kicker? You do it from a single codebase written in JavaScript. Yeah, you heard that right, JavaScript. The very same language that powers a huge chunk of the web can now build your mobile app.
And this quote, this just sums up the whole philosophy perfectly. Learn once, write anywhere. Think about that. Instead of having to become an expert in two totally different worlds, you just focus on one set of skills, and then you can push your creation out to both of the major app stores. It's a game changer.
Okay, so how do you actually do it? How do you start building with this thing? Well, the secret, the absolute key, is learning to think in components. This is like the foundational mind shift you've got to make.
And honestly, the best way to picture this is to think about Lego bricks. Seriously. Every little piece of your app's screen, a button, a search bar, that little user profile icon, each one is its own self-contained, reusable component. And all you're doing is snapping these digital Legos together to build out your interface.
All right, so this here is basically our roadmap of the core concepts you're going to need to get comfortable with. First up is something called JSX. It kind of looks like you're mixing HTML right into your JavaScript, but don't let it scare you. It's just how you tell the app what to look like. Then you've got unidirectional data flow. Okay, sounds super technical, right? But all it really means is that your data only flows in one predictable direction. And trust me, this makes your app so much easier to fix when something breaks. And finally, state and props. These are the big ones. Just think of them as how your little Lego bricks remember things and talk to each other. Props are like instructions passed down from a parent component to its child. And state? That's just the component's own internal memory.
Okay, so once you get the hang of building this structure with all your components, then comes the really fun part, making it look good. We're talking styling and animation, bringing your whole application to life.
And this is way more than just picking a background color. There's a whole journey here. You start with the basics, just applying some simple styles. Then you dive deeper and master creating really cool, flexible layouts with a tool called Flexbox. After that, you've got to build the navigation so people can actually move between different screens in your app. And the final touch? You add those slick, fluid animations that make an app feel super polished and professional.
Now you might be thinking, hold on, is this just a website stuffed inside an app? That's a super common question. And the answer is a big, fat no. Your JavaScript code gets a direct hotline to the phone's actual hardware and all its native features.
I mean, just look at this list. These are basically your JavaScript superpowers. You can use async storage to save data right onto the phone itself. You can tap into geolocation to find the user's location for maps and stuff. NetInfo lets you check if they're online or offline. You can even use Pan Responder to understand really complex finger swipes and pinches. And yeah, you can trigger those real native pop-up alerts. This is not a web page, people. It's a real deal, powerful app.
So let's do a quick recap. We've talked about the single code base, thinking in components, making it look good, and tapping into the phone's native features. Now for the final step, putting it all together.
And this is the payoff. This is what it's all about. The source material for this whole explainer actually has you build a complete Star Wars app from scratch. I mean, how cool is that? You take all those concepts we just talked about, the components, the styling, the APIs, and you actually build something real, something you can show off. So there you have it. The path from that brilliant idea in your head to a real app in the App Store is hopefully a lot clearer now. You've seen the map from the first little building block all the way to a finished product. So I guess there's really only one question left. What are you going to build first?